Thank you all so much for coming today. It's so nice to see you all. Today, I've prepared a spring makeup look. I wanted to help you master it before March is over. Since it's spring, we all want that clear and bright look, but it's hard to put in a lot of effort when you're heading to school or work, right? So, I've prepared 2 spring makeup versions, a simple one for daily wear and a full glam version that's just perfect for your special weekend plans. I'll tell you in detail how to achieve a clear, bright, and vibrant pink makeup look that isn't dull. So, let's get started right away. Start! First, we'll do the simple makeup. For the base, I'll use a cushion. This is in fair light color. Since I have large pores, I prefer filling them with a spatula first rather than just using a puff. It fills pores better than a puff, so if you have large pores, apply it like this first. So, I'll first fill in the areas with large pores by scraping the spatula over them a few times, and then I'll use the puff for the rest of my face. I picked a shade that just subtly brightens up my skin tone. But you still want a bright look, so I recommend going a little lighter rather than having a skin tone that's too dark. This is my original tone. It's a bit brighter, right? It's just slightly toned up. I applied a thin cushion layer. For heavy coverage, I'll use concealer. This is Luna in 20N. If I show you the whole covering process, the video will be too long, so I'll just quickly skip through the skin makeup part. And this is the Luna 15C concealer. It's a really bright color. I'll apply a thin layer to fill in the hollow areas like my smile lines between my brows and under my eyes. For a clear and bright look like today's, this step is absolutely essential. If your face is dull, you'll never achieve that clear, bright look. No matter how pretty the colors you use for your blush or eyeshadow are, if your canvas is dull, the base color is already murky, so you'll never get that clear look. That's why you absolutely have to brighten the sunken areas of your face like this. This area got so much brighter, right? Of course, if you're busy in the morning and have no time, it can't be helped. But if you feel like your makeup looks dull or lacks volume, this step is a must. It's also good to lightly brighten the apples of your cheeks with this concealer. You use a bright blush color, right? So brighten the apples of your cheeks first. The blush color will show better. Looks like I'm barely applying anything, right? Just a thin, light layer like this. Otherwise, it will cake. Honestly, if you highlight well, doesn't my face look brighter even before I finish covering? You could just put on some lip tint and head out the door. That's how bright it looks. The key to a bright-looking makeup is base highlighting. Luna recently released their concealer in 20 different colors. There's such a wide range of shades. I did a shorts ad, but this video is not sponsored. If you're seeking a highlighting concealer like this, consider Luna. An important point for base highlighting is that it's best to start with a foundation or cushion that isn't too bright. I only applied a little bit of tone up, didn't I? If you over-brighten your skin before highlighting, your face could become excessively bright. It can get brighter than you think, so either skip the overall tone up entirely or just do it lightly. Then, when you add the highlighting, you'll achieve a clear and bright base without it being overly bright. Since this is for a simple makeup look, I'll just cover the most prominent blemishes that are easily visible on my face. The blush is also really important today. It's the best way to show off that vibrant color. I'm going to apply 403 Tender Pink. Today, I'll be using a pink color, but since it's for spring, I'll opt for a warm-toned pink instead of a cool-toned one. If you apply it directly, it will ruin the coverage, so just dab it onto the puff. This stick type is easy to apply. You just dab it mainly in the center like this for easier application. First, you have to test it out. See how much comes off and if there are any clumps. Because we want to achieve a bright and lively feeling, the blush absolutely must go upwards. Yes, upwards. If it droops, it'll create a heavy look, so apply it upwards. Applying blush to the apples of your cheeks makes you look vibrant. So today, I'll focus on the center, not the sides, starting right under your eyes to get it as high as possible. If you have really severe dark circles and dislike how blush under your eyes ruins your coverage, then you can begin a bit lower down. But if you don't mind touching up your dark circle coverage and want to apply it right under your eyes, then just start by tapping it on like I am. I'll show you how to fix it up too. If you haven't done the concealer highlighting, the color won't show up this well. The color payoff can be different, so don't forget to do your highlighting before the blush. I'll blend out just the bottom part, focusing on the area with the cushion. The area right under the eye should actually be the darkest part, so I'll leave that untouched and only blend out the edges of the part below it. For any dark circles that got erased, you can use a peach-colored concealer pencil. It's a peach color that isn't too red. I'll use this to go over the parts that got covered up. Since this area is red now, you can just use a reddish concealer to match. Apply it gently, then tap with the puff to blend out the edges. And if any coverage has come off, you can simply reapply it using this product. It's a bit shiny, so I'll add a little powder, and I'm going to contour my nose, but you can skip this if you're short on time. Contouring can sometimes get in the way of achieving a clear and bright look. So it's not essential today. If pressed for time, you can skip contouring. To expedite things, I'll just do a minimal application. Also, for today's makeup, I feel that overly dark eyebrows wouldn't quite suit the radiant aesthetic, so I'll be subtly brightening them up. First, I'll use ash beige, a light color, to draw in the hairs. And also, I don't think thick eyebrow designs would really suit this makeup, so I'll draw them on softly and thinly, with a delicate touch, so their presence isn't too overpowering. But for some people, thick dark eyebrows can be their most charming feature. If that's you, just embrace your natural brows. After filling them in with a light color, you can see the sparse areas here. I'll use a darker color, smoky gray, to draw more hairs just in those sparse spots. You're just drawing hairs in the sparse spots. That keeps your brows from getting too dark. I just quickly drew them like this. Next, I'll brighten my brows with a light brow mascara. Today's eyeshadow is a perfect match for the blush. It's Dasique's No. 37 Sweet Blossom. For simplicity, I'll just apply with my fingers, starting with my middle finger. If your fingers were brushes, they'd be different sizes. I'll use my relatively large middle finger to pick up the lightest base color in the middle. I'll apply it to the center first, then spread it out evenly over the whole area. Next, I'll use a contour shade, but this one is a bit dark, so I'll mix it with this color. Now using my pinky, I'll apply it to the outer corner to extend the eye length. If you use another finger, the area will be too wide, so you use your pinky to apply it in a narrow line. Just swipe it on like this, and for the inner corner, when you apply it here, you need to use less product. Don't let the front get too dark. After applying, you know those shadow brushes? Dip it into the base color, then just blend everything together at once. Base and contour all at once. The contour is there, the base is there, everything's applied. You can finish it all with just one brush. I'm going to draw my eyeliner right away. And since I want to emphasize that pink vibe, using a pink liner like Wake Makes Teary Pink creates a really unique and pretty look. But if you don't have a pink liner, a soft brown or just any brown works fine too. It looks great. It's totally fine to use any color you already have. Black would probably stand out too much, so I recommend brown. I'll fill in the spaces between my lashes with the liner. I think any wing shape would look pretty. Winging it down would be pretty, and winging it up would be pretty too. I'm going to draw mine straight out. Just draw it roughly and then clean it up with a pointed cotton swab to get a sharp line. When you use a reddish liner like this, it creates a unique charm and it's not too harsh, you know? It's subtle, not overwhelming, and since it's like your waterline, it expands the eye. It gives off a subtly expanding effect. So, when you're busy and need to quickly do your makeup, yet want to give it a unique charm and brighten your look, just switching up your eyeliner color can be incredibly effective. But the liner color has to match the eyeshadow. You just need to connect that reddish feel. And now, I'll curl my lashes. Today, those sharply curled lashes will really suit the look. Curling lashes high like this adds glam. Then, I'll apply mascara. The mascara is rouge brown, a reddish brown. It's not overly red, so it's not too much, plus it connects well with the eyeshadow and liner shades. If you don't have this color, brown will do. You can warm up the lash curler like this and gently, carefully shape your lashes into place. Do it before mascara dries. Once dry, they won't hold shape. Also, my waterline is really visible, isn't it? It looks quite empty, so I'll just fill that in. Just the waterline with a cacao brown color. Only those with very visible waterlines like me need to do this. Not everyone has to fill their waterline. If your waterline isn't visible, filling it in can make your eyes look stuffy. Now that I've done the top part of my makeup, I'll just scrape away what's creased under my eyes with a pointed cotton swab and mix a pink color into the base eyeshadow. Using too many products in the morning is messy, so I'm doing it all with this eyeshadow. Oh, this color is perfect for the under eye area. Oh, that's so pretty. Connect the front lightly, using just the leftover product. The outer corner seems a bit bare, so I'll add some depth, and I think a reddish tone will suit it well. I'll mix these two, apply it straight across the outer part and then fade it out. Then, broadly blend it upwards, spreading it out widely and evenly. Apply it straight, then blend it wide, and with what's left, just lightly sweep the front part too. If you sweep your under eye area, it can make it look dull, so just sweep your eyelashes. Just the lashes. Lightly, with the remaining product, add a subtle shadow beneath the ichthyosaur. With the under eye area done, all that's left is lips. For lips, I'm using Bubbly by Coral Haze. I was searching everywhere for a pink and I thought this color was the best. It shouldn't be too cool toned or have any orange in it. For today's concept, I was after a warm pink with no orange at all. It's a pink that's not overly cool toned, yet has absolutely no orange, so it's excellent for today's use. The color is sheer. It's nice that it's not too intense. I'll apply it a bit thicker on my upper lip for overlined lips. Kind of in a heart shape like this. It has a nice glossy finish and it feels hydrating without being sticky. The color's really pretty. You could apply blush a bit darker. For a daily look though, I think too much blush can be a little over the top, so I'm keeping it subtle. So I've straightened my hair for a sleek look and put in contacts. These are the O-Lens Realish Brown. I kept it quite simple, but I think the makeup looks bright and truly lovely. It's a great look for daily wear. Next, I'll show you a more styled spring makeup look. I'll layer it on top. First, I don't think the blush is quite enough. To achieve a more glamorous effect, I'll apply the blush more intensely, building up another layer. It needs to be the most intense right under the eyes. If it's all intense, it just looks like you're flushed. You really need to have a focal point to achieve that stained watercolor effect. There should be a focal point with the rest as a gradient. See how applying it intensely under the eyes, just with a stronger blush, creates a more dressed up look? I'll just neaten up the bottom section with concealer. But, when applied like this, it doesn't offer much in the way of lasting power. So I'm going to layer a powder blush on top. It's the 2AN Bubble Art 17. Applying a powder type like this makes it last much longer, and the color payoff becomes more vibrant and intense. Lots of the light shade, a little of the dark one. It needs to be strongest under the eye, so I'll tap it first, then blend it downwards. Then pat and blend it downwards. Now I'll mix the two shades and dab it on the tip of my nose. If you're not careful, this can look way too intense in natural light. It might look pretty at home, but then look over the top when you go outside. So you need to apply it a bit lighter than you think, just a touch. And with the leftover product, I'll add some to my chin. I'll perfect my skin coverage a bit more later. And my nose contour was a little too light before, so I'll add a bit more. Since the makeup is more dramatic, if the contour isn't defined, it can make your face look puffy. So I've made the blush more prominent and added a little more nose contour. But if it gets too dark, it'll look dull, so be careful. I won't be adding any more eyeshadow. If I go darker, it could ruin the clear and bright look, so it's important to stop here and not make the shading too dark. I think the eyeliner could be a bit more defined, so I'm going to use a liquid liner too. This is a technique I use all the time. First, I draw the line with a gel liner, and then I go over it with a liquid liner in a similar color. That way, you keep the softness of the gel liner, but add the sharp definition of the liquid liner, making your eyes look much deeper than if you just used one. I'll go over the area where I've already applied the gel liner with this liquid liner one more time. Instead of starting with heavy makeup, it's better to start light and layer on top. That way, it doesn't get too overdone. Say you want to try a more elaborate makeup look today, but worry it'll get too heavy or look weird. In that case, just do your makeup like you normally would. After you're all done, start layering on top little by little. This really lowers the chances of messing up. See? The line is a bit more defined now. And there's no shimmer right now. This IPKN Bunny Breeze, it's a highlighter that's pink toned. Only in the center of the lid. Applying it all over can make it look puffy. You simply brighten just the center to add dimension. It makes the look a little more vibrant. See how it's brighter here in the middle? Next, I'm using Dear Dahlia's Quartz Rush. It has finer glitter. It's a highlighter, but I often use it on my eyes. If you have textured skin, it might look a bit messy when applied on the face. But it looks so pretty on the eyes, so I add the glitter focusing on the center. The particles are really fine, so it looks gorgeous on the eyes. It gives a subtle glam without being overdone, so it really suits this clear, bright look. I'll add some to the front too. It's pretty because it's so sparkly, right? It makes your eyes look even more brilliant and vibrant. But if your base makeup is simple and not perfect, and your color makeup isn't perfect either, adding a lot of glitter like this can easily look messy. I really don't recommend overdoing the glitter when you're going for a simple makeup look. The most important thing is to keep it looking as clean as possible. With a simple look, your skin isn't perfected and your contour isn't fully defined, so your face can look a bit puffy. If you add glitter on top of that, your skin can look messy and even puffier, so I don't use much glitter for simple looks. Perfect coverage is essential for this. See, if there are blemishes, glitter can make it look really messy, right? The skin expression needs to be perfectly done, and my eyelashes are a bit dull now, so it would be nice to add falsies, but I've already applied mascara. My lashes are already thick, so thin falsies won't look balanced. So I'm going to apply a thicker style. This is Totokara's Cherry Coke. And these are no glue lashes, but it's really hard to place no glue lashes in between your natural ones. You're supposed to apply them under your lashes on the waterline, but that's really uncomfortable. My eyes are sensitive, so it's too irritating. I even use glue for no glue lashes. This is Philomilli's in a brown color. I got this as a free gift, so I'm not sure if they still sell it. I hope they do. This brown color is so good. People use a lot of brown eyeliner these days, right? But black glue is way too dark, and if you apply clear glue unevenly, especially in clumps, it can often look really white. That's why a brown glue like this is so great. With no glue lashes, you don't need to apply a lot of glue. If you put on too much, the glue will look thick and make your eyes look messy, so just a tiny bit is enough. I'm going to place it on the very end, right on top of my lashes near the eyeliner. And I'll angle it down a bit. If you place it too low, it can make your eyes look droopy. You must apply it higher to lift the eye to give it that up and refreshed look. To achieve this look, I'm putting it on top of my lashes. I've already applied the 11mm and I'll do another 11mm, but you don't need to apply them too close together. If you apply them too close together, your eyes might look heavy, and since I already have mascara on, I'm going to leave some space. Carefully press it in and attach it between my lashes. No glue lashes won't stick between your lashes at all. So I only applied a little bit of glue. I attached two 11mm lashes, then a 10mm, and then a 9mm one right in the center towards the front. After applying them like this, I'll add one more coat of mascara. This is to make sure my natural lashes and the falsies don't look disconnected. Now, using a small brush, I'll take a dark color and use these two to open up the inner corners. This will extend the eyes forward a bit, where the tear duct is. You have to follow the natural shape of this area right here. Just trace it upwards exactly like this. Instead of a super dark color, something like this is perfect. A slightly dark color with a reddish tint. It creates a natural looking extension, and even a little bit makes a big difference from afar, so make sure to check from a distance. And to brighten up my under eye area a bit more, I'm going to mix in some highlighter shimmer with the two colors I used earlier. Mixing eyeshadow and highlighter on your under eyes adds just the right amount of volume. No need to buy a special Aegyosal shadow. Blending them makes my under eyes look a bit fuller, right? I'll gently wipe the brush I used for the inner corner on a tissue, and with the remaining product, I'll enhance the shadow just a little bit more. I'm going to extend the end of the line, making my eyes appear even longer. To make them look wider, I'm also going to extend the outer corners a bit. I'll take the pink color I used as eyeliner and apply a little to the outer edge of my iris. There's no need to apply too much in a straight line, just a small amount, and before it dries, simply spread it out evenly with an eyeshadow brush. Drawing a straight line is the key. That's what opens up the eyes downwards. My eyes are looking so much bigger than before. With the leftover amount, I'll sweep it along my lash line too. Since the top is so dramatic, I think it would be good to have some bottom lashes. I'll put on some mascara. Let it cool down as much as possible so it's just warm, never hot. I'll just adjust the direction a bit. I don't have many bottom lashes and they tend to grow in a messy direction. So I'm going to try applying compact individual eyelashes. For bottom lashes, the glue has to be clear. If you use brown or black, it will show up as little dots, so use a clear glue. The Philomilli ones are really good. I'll place a 6mm lash at the very outer corner, then another 6mm right in front of that, followed by a 5mm, and then another 5mm. Finally, I'll put a 4mm lash directly underneath my natural eyelashes. After applying them, just a bit more mascara. Lashes on versus off is much more glamorous, isn't it? At this point, I need to fix up my base a bit. I'll take the 20N concealer, and with a fine-tipped brush, I'll dot it on to cover any blemishes. And now highlighter, using the number 1 I used earlier on the tip of my nose. Bridge of nose. Highlighter must be brighter than you expect. If it's even a bit dark, it won't look bright and lifted. And I'll wipe my lips a bit. The lip tint I'm wearing today is sheer, you know. My natural lip color shows through. If your lips are dark, applying this color makes them still look dark. So for those people, take a tiny bit of concealer that's darker than your skin tone on your finger. Just a tiny bit. You're covering the lip line. If there's too much, it'll just crease in your wrinkles. Use just a little bit to cancel out the natural color of your lips. If you cover the inside too, your lips will look super wrinkly and it will emphasize dead skin. So just apply a little on the lip line to cover it. Then use a lip pencil. So I went with a light shade from the Milky Syrup series. The tint I'll apply is very sheer, so the base color shows through. If the lip pencil is dark, the tint will also look much darker. So you need to brighten up the base first, and only then can you apply the lip tint. The color payoff is much better this way. Some of you might want to wear clear, vibrant shades, but your lips are naturally dark, so it doesn't work out. Covering them with a dark concealer and applying a lip base is really important. The color is so pretty, right? And with that, our upgraded spring makeup look is complete. It's much more glamorous, looks better in photos, and gives off that full glam vibe. So everyone, I've shown 2 spring makeup looks today. Did you enjoy them? I hope you can use these tips when you're short on time but want a spring look, or when you have plans and want to go for something more glamorous. If I can ever be of help to you all, I'm always very grateful and happy about that. Let's all have a happy and warm spring together with me, Haeni. Thank you all so much for watching today. Then I'll see you in our next video. Thank you.